Hello friends, welcome back to another financial analysis. We have the NVIDIA and the gold prediction. Remember, these are the two predictions that I am covering for this month. And today is the 9th of January. So yeah, it's the 9th of January. So we see that for some reason it's not a market day. I just realized that. I really don't know why. I'm not an expert on on this kind of stuff. I just have a very talented gift to predict finances. But anyways, let's just cover the days that have been occurring since the start of this week. We see that the markets have a very bad crash yesterday and even on the 7th of January. That's where basically the crash starts. Now I told you guys this will happen. Look at this. We have this yellow circle on the 6th and the 7th. I told you that one of these days we'll see a yellow day, meaning the position closes very similar to where it opens. That was the case for the Monday, 6th of January. For the 7th of January, I told you it could be a volatile day trending towards a downtrend. Okay, so this is a circle right here, 6 or 7. The 7 is also shared by this red circle right here, 7 or 8. And we see extreme volatility for that day, the 7th of January, just like I told you guys. Now this crash was not just present for NVIDIA. It was a general market crash. You'll see it also affected cryptocurrencies as well. We'll cover this pretty soon, even though this is not the crypto channel. Remember, if you want to see my crypto predictions only, go to the crypto channel and that's where you can see all of those charts. Which, by the way, I'm covering 4 cryptocurrencies this month. This is the gift that I gave to my subscribers over there for the New Year's. Okay, so this crash very powerful. From the start to the lowest point on that day, it's easily almost 9%. And to the lowest point of yesterday, it's nearly 10%, basically 10%. So it's very significant. It's one of the worst days in market recent history, at least covering the last 2 months maybe. It's very powerful. Okay, so what we can see with NVIDIA is that basically the high, this amazing powerful level that was already higher than the highest peak of December, crashes all the way down to basically this kind of support zone. It's shared by many dates. It's also shared by many of the critical dates in the past prediction of December. Many of these days, and even some of the November chart. So this is very significant, guys. Very significant. Now, just like I told you, we're going to see the crypto predictions, but before I go over to those charts, I'll finish covering this one and I'll cover the gold one as well. So we can expect maybe on Friday some kind of recovery. Technically it should have begun today because it's the 9 to the 10, but it's not a market day for some reason, and we'll have to just wait and see for Friday, guys. I mean, there's no other way around that. So if it goes upwards, which I hope that's the case, maybe we can see some kind of recovery, but I'm afraid it won't be very big. It will be barely a partial recovery. So we'll have to consider that, and we'll have to resign ourselves to that possible scenario. And that's the actual best case scenario, because there's also a chance where we can see maybe a day where basically nothing happens, like a range day, or possibly even some further weakening. Because remember, these days, whenever you see the 9 and this kind of I don't know how to say it, but you know, whenever you see these circles like they are right here, it's an alternative day circle. It means one of these 2 days or 3 days is going to happen that trend. Okay, so there's the possibility of tomorrow, but at the same time, it could maybe not really play out. Anyways, that's all for this week, and the next one will open with a very, very powerful volatility on the 13th, and this is where the danger is also very present, because we see another powerful correction from the range of the 14 to the 16. So be very careful about this. I'm thinking it can happen on the 15 and possibly on the 16, maybe even extending to the 16, meaning that we have the potential of 2 consecutive red days, which will be very, very bad considering this current extreme crash that we just suffer across the markets. Okay, so let's go over to the gold chart. Gold chart is very volatile, guys. I mean, gold does not really behave as much as the other ones. I mean, there was some kind of similarities, but you can see right away the chart is very, very different. I mean, I told you that we could see some red energies for the 7, for the 6, and the 6 was an extremely volatile day, like extremely volatile. You see that this is where the price begins. This is where, I mean, look at this volatility. It goes up like at this point, and then it crashes very hard, massively, only to recover. And where it recovers, it's a very similar position. It's basically a perfect yellow day with extreme amounts of volatility. Now on the 7th, it goes up and crashes all the way down, and also ends on a similar position, although even slightly higher. But it's very, very similar. So this is gold. Gold behaves differently. That's why I told you in the beginning that gold is a very crucial chart to follow. It's a very crucial asset, in my honest opinion, to predict, because it basically tells us the state of the economy, and it doesn't really correlate many times with cryptocurrencies or even stocks. It's kind of its own thing, and it's very, very similar. But regardless, whenever you see gold going higher, that's because geopolitical tensions are high, because the market fear is high, and many other factors amount to this, the gold rising. Okay, so it's very, very significant with what we see. For the rest of the days, it's basically just volatility, lots of volatility. It's trending already upwards, because like I told you, we are entering from the 8th to the 12th is a range of green days, which basically mean that we can see a powerful uptrend, some developments towards that. For example, we see that from the beginning of the 8th to the current levels is almost 1%, and at the highest point basically a clear 1%. So maybe this can go even higher in the next days, especially by the 12th. I think it will provide a very good opportunity, but there's also the possibility of seeing this higher even tomorrow. So this is gold. I mean, guys, remember, this is the most different asset you will see on these charts. Very, very different. It behaves very differently, and it also has many, many yellow circles. In fact, it's the chart that I have made in all the history that it presents way more yellows, more than reds and greens. So this is very the first time I see this. And it's already showing that it's perfectly in match, in concordance with the fact that gold is just extremely volatile. Okay, so that's the goal, and just like I told you, I promise you that I will show you very quickly the Bitcoin chart, just so you know, just so you can watch with your own eyes my extreme accuracy. Every chart is different. You can see right away that Bitcoin is behaving very differently from NVIDIA, except for a couple days. But one thing they really have in common is the massive crash starting from the 7th of January, even extending to the 8th and parts of the 9th. So look at this. I predicted all of this. Again, the red circle right here on Bitcoin, 7 to 8, the box covering 6 to 7, the other green box covering also the same days. And look at this. This is 6, the Monday, extreme volatility upwards, only to be followed by extreme volatility downwards on the 7th. Who could have predicted this with this extreme amount of accuracy, guys? I mean, I'm asking seriously, because there's no one really that can do this like I do consistently. day after day, month after month, week after week. No one else does this. So be very aware of this. Be very get this through your thick skull, so you can see with your own eyes my level, and the fact that I bring this to you for free, the fact that I share this with you, this information with you all for free, the fact that you can watch this kind of financial extreme accuracy analysis on YouTube. I mean, this is priceless, guys. This is really priceless. The amount of money that other people will pay for this. In fact, I do have some paid subscribers, but my channel is already very small. But it's growing, it's growing. Especially the crypto community, guys. It's just growing out of proportion. It's growing very fast. I do have a lot of requests and so little time in a day. So yeah, it's going to get wild in the future. But just like I told you, be very, very grateful for what I bring you. Be very, very pay much attention to this. This can save. This can build empires, literally. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Just a final reminder to invite, to subscribe, to like, to comment, and all of that. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.